Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode. Today we talk about the ethics of charging up front. We hear a lot of business owners, freelancers, a lot in construction that say it's impossible to charge for jobs up front. We fundamentally disagree. Today's episode is all about demystifying why it is more ethical to charge for everything you do and to charge up front, why and how it's better for your clients. And we'll give you a few reasons to do so, create some funny scenarios, and as always, we chat some shit.
If you want to get the book, more of what we're talking about now, in a lot more detail, step by step, paint by numbers, fix your fucking life and business, go to well-fedfreelancer.com. It's £5, you get 9 bonuses, it will change your life in 30 days, guaranteed, or you get your money back twice over, so £10 back, plus a free pizza. Fair warning, we're doubling the price of the books imminently, not tomorrow, not next week, but certainly in the next month or so, to £10. Even that's fuck all, but hey. So, it's raining today, soggy doggy day.
Soggy doggy day.
Yeah, it's one of those swings and roundabouts things. I mean, the weather's shit and it's fucking hammering down with rain, and you get wet. But the upside is that Haggis and Sarah stay at home, so it's just me and Doris.
I like how you got a favourite dog now.
I haven't got a favourite dog.
You liar, just like you haven't got favourite children.
I would say she's more rewarding.
Why?
Because she's the most interactive, obedient dog I've ever had. I've got to train to the point now where if I whistle her four whistles, that means come back. Any other whistle is just to get her attention.
So you feel like a god, essentially.
Yeah, basically. If she's walking down the lane and we come to the road at the end, which is where the traffic is, she will just stop and wait for me. And if she looks like she's going to move, I just say, wait, and she'll just stay and wait for me. If I call it, if she detects traffic, because I let her off the lead on the road, as long as it's not windy so I can hear traffic coming, it's a quiet country lane. She walks off the lead, and if she hears a car coming, she will run back to me and sit by my fucking side, inside the road. So I'm roadside, she's by the curb. Honestly, without telling her. She's fucking brilliant. I've not really had to teach her this stuff. I mean, obviously I have taught her it, but not consciously. She wants to please. That's what, she wants me to be happy.
Well, it's a byproduct of realising Daddy John wants me near him when cars come. So it makes sense if I hear a car, go to him, almost beat him to his own game.
She's brilliant. I mean, she's so fucking smart. I mean, she's one of these dogs that's really clever, but as daft as a brush,
Yeah.
Because she's just really fucking funny. So she's a lot more rewarding. She's probably more rewarding than Haggis. But Haggis is funny in his own way. But he's a boy and he's a Jack Russell, so he's his own dog. He is. He's just his own fucking dog. He's the only dog I've ever met with opinions.
Did I ever tell you the story as to why Jack Russells are my least favourite dogs?
Probably because they bit your ankles or something.
I'll tell you the story. I was 15 years old. Young, budding, confident man, and I was walking to the shops. I had a few quid in my pocket because I'd been working a Saturday job. I felt like the dog's bollocks. I go in there, I buy myself a packet of Sensations, sweet chili flavour. I think I get myself a Twix and a bottle of Coke. I was getting some stuff ready for a real gaming session. And I was left over with about 70 pence. I thought, yeah, fuck it, I'll save that for next time. Walk out of the shop, there's a dog there, a little Jack Russell. And they were raising money for this Jack Russell because he needed surgery. And I thought, bloody hell, that's a cute dog. So I go to the owner of the dog. What's up with him? He had cancer or something horrible. And I said, this is all I've got, unfortunately. I gave him the 70, the 80 pence. And I say, is it okay to give him a stroke? And they went, yeah, he's lovely. He's really cuddly. So, and I'm like, yeah, you can see where this is going. I went, oh, thank you. That's amazing. I kneel down to give him a proper snuggle. I just offer my hand out first so he can smell me, so he knows I'm not a threat. I've been brought up around dogs. I know what to fucking do. Yeah, this cunt took one sniff of me, fucking latched onto me. Honestly, I wanted my money back. I wanted a refund. Fuck that dog. He can die of cancer fucking 10 times over. I want me 80 pence back.
When we're out with the dogs, Doris is all over people. She loves them, and she doesn't jump up at them or anything because she's trained not to. But she loves people. She loves children especially. She's just so gentle. And then people obviously fuss Doris, and they go towards Haggis and say, "I really wouldn't if I were you." He doesn't like people very much. Even the lady at the kennels said about Haggis to me and Sarah, "Is he okay with you? Can you handle him?" I said, "Yeah, he's as soft as pudding with us. We can pick him up. We can cradle like a baby. We play with his ears and his feet. He's great." But I mean, it was okay with Rosie and Imogen, and he'd probably be okay with Holly again because she's been over before, so I probably remember her. But most people, he just hates them. He really doesn't like them at all. He's very poorly socialized with human beings. It's fine because we live in a farm in the middle of nowhere. And anyone just sticking their hand in his face if you're out walking deserves to get bitten because you shouldn't do that with a dog. Anyway, crack on. So, ethics, getting paid up front. Well, it's getting paid up front, but also getting paid for everything you do. When anyone who's worked with me or listened to my work or me for any length of time knows that I'm basically three things. There's you get paid up front, as in you don't work for free. You get paid in full, and also, well, you get paid up front. You don't do any work until you are paid, and you get paid for everything you do. Yeah. Now, if it's like anything, if once you've learned the rules, you can then maybe selectively break them. So I do have clients that I've worked with for maybe 12 years. And if they were a couple of days late with an invoice for, say, the retained work or a project, I wouldn't just down tools because I know I'm going to get it, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, that's strictly breaking the rule, but let's be sensible about this. That's not the same as saying you get some brand new twonk you don't know from Adam and you do a month's worth of work before you invoice them. Those two things are very, very different. And anyone who says they're the same, okay, they might look the same in principle, but they're not. I mean, let's be sensible. So with that caveat, you get paid up front. You get paid. You don't do any work until you are paid. And you get paid for everything you do. Now, I get a lot of fucking hassle from people about this sometimes. I mean, they don't kind of chase me down the street or anything, but whenever I post about it, there's always someone. I mean, the other day, some stupid fucking woman said it was an unethical way to do business, which makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, let's take the first one about getting paid up front, all right? So, well, let's kind of combine them all, really. There's getting paid up front and getting paid for everything you do. Anyone who wants to work with me or talk to me, so let's have a chat, they book a consulting call. Now, I actually had someone message me the other day, yesterday, beg your pardon, so that will be Thursday for anyone listening to this. And he says, I'd like to book a consulting call. Here's my email address, send me the invoice. Now, because I am actually ethical and not unethical, I says, well, steady on, Tiger. I hardly know you. Let's maybe save you some time and money. What do you want to talk about? And we're going backwards and forwards now. And maybe I'll do a consulting call, maybe I won't. But what I'm not doing is, to be very clear, what I am doing is getting the answers to those triage questions. Can I help you? Do I want to help you? Are you willing to pay me? Well, he's already established he's willing to pay me. Question is, can I and do I want to help him? But assuming we do, if I get on a call with him, he will pay for it. And in the triage, I'm not offering him free advice. I'm just finding out, can I help you? Do I want to help you? That's it. And then the rest of it, he will pay for. Now, when I kind of espouse that philosophy, people will say, yeah, but I don't want to charge for calls because I like to help people. Well, let's think about that for a minute. Let's dig into that one. You like to help people. So does that mean when you've helped someone and they say, yes, let's work together, and they give you money, anything you do after that isn't helping them? Is that right? Because if that's so, well, hang on, I'm using their logic. If that's so, you're a liar and a cheat and a thief because you're taking their money, but you're not helping them. You're actually more unethical than I could ever be. So it's obvious, it's fucking painfully obvious. It's as obvious as Jimmy Savile's fucking boner in a nudist fucking kindergarten that helping people and being paid for that help are not mutually exclusive. And let's think about that even further. Never mind that what I've just proved how fucking stupid it is. At what point is it okay to charge people? Why is it okay to charge after the second bit of help you give them, but not the first? And why only one? Why are you not working for free for a year? Why is it only one phone call or two? Why don't you do it forever? At what point is it okay to charge? And if it's okay to charge at any arbitrary point, why not just charge up front? And so that's the kind of the logical argument there. But then again, let's talk about empirically people's experience. What happens when you go into Nando's? And I bet there's hardly anyone listening to this who's never been to Nando's. You go to Nando's, they greet you, they put you on a chair, they give you a fucking cockerel with a number on it, right? You sit down, you pick your food, you go to the counter, you pick what you want to eat. Then what do?
You pay.
Sorry, say it again.
You pay.
You pay. Then you sit down, then they bring your food, then you eat it. Right? What happens when you go to the pub? You order drinks at the bar, then what do?
I'm an expert at this, John. I'm an absolute expert at going to the pub. You pay, and then you get your pint and you sit down.
Now, okay, then you say, yeah, but what if you open a tab? Well, you are still paying because you put a credit card there to secure the drink. Now, of course, sometimes you might know someone, you might be a regular, and they might just give you a beer and you might pay at the end of the night. That does happen. I know it does. But even if it does, well, that's like I was saying earlier, let's be sensible here.
You treat your best customers with a bit of respect. You don't fucking shit on them.
That probably happens maybe in little rural pubs here in Ireland. I would not walk into one of those pubs and get the same treatment, and nor should I. They don't know me from Adam. What happens when you go to a travel lodge hotel? What happens before you get the key to your room?
I assume you pay. I'm far too classy to be staying in a fucking travel lodge.
I stay in travel lodge sometimes if it's convenient.
Poor you.
There are even higher class hotels where you
pay.
And even the best hotels, what happens when you check in? What do you give them?
Money, your card.
Well, your card. Why do you give them the card? To guarantee payment. So in effect, you pay.
Yeah, when I went on holiday to Morocco, very expensive holiday, good fun. Everything was paid for up front apart from the tourism tax. And guess what they did? They charged me the tourism tax the minute I arrived.
So people are well used to paying up front. And it's, if you think about it, it's what happens if you want to fly on any airline? What do you do first before you get your ticket? You pay. There is almost no... The idea of paying after you've enjoyed the service or consumed the food or whatever is actually rarer than the other way around. Okay? Any retail store you walk into, and if you walk out without paying, you're actually committing a crime if you've got intent to steal. That's how fucking bad it is, So the idea of paying up front is not unusual. On the contrary, it's the norm. So why is it wrong to expect people to pay up front before they receive service? Now, then they'll say, well, there's a lack of trust maybe. Well, okay, fine, you can mitigate that. You can mitigate it by using an escrow service. You can mitigate it by having stage payments. So they you got a 3-month project and it's, for the sake of argument, $9,000. So you charge them $3,000 up front. End of the first month, you charge them another $3,000. End of the second month, you charge them the last $3,000. So they're never kind of risking more than $3,000 on you, and you're getting paid in chunks. And at the end of the first month, if they don't pay the second invoice, you don't do any more work. There's nothing wrong. All these things work, and our clients do them all the fucking time. But people still tell me they can't do it, don't want to do it, and it's unethical. No, it isn't. It's bollocks.
I do have to say as well, trust is so incredibly easy to earn. It's so incredibly easy to earn. So we've had people we've spoken to for the first time on phone calls before, unable to fill out forms that take the card details. So they have just sent us bank transfer, thousands and thousands of pounds. And this is the first time we've spoken to them. The only reason they trust us is because they've read our emails. They've seen our posts on social media. Trust is so fucking easy to get. So if you have apprehensive clients who don't trust you, I think you're doing something fundamentally wrong in the first place.
Yeah, either you're presenting yourself badly, or perhaps just as likely, you're looking at the wrong people. Because in my experience, the people who are most untrusting are actually the most untrustworthy too.
Yeah.
And there's no profundity there. I mean, this is just, we tend to buy from people in the same way. We tend to sell to people in the same way we buy from them. Well, we tend to see the world reflected in our own biases and behaviors. So it's no surprise to understand or to find out, discover people who are untrusting tend to be untrustworthy because they're expecting you to be untrustworthy because that's what they would do. I remember when Holly, my daughter, started working for us, just before when we first offered her the opportunity, the first thing her mum says, I wouldn't do that. Just make sure he pays you, meaning he being me. And I just laughed, thinking I am probably the last person on earth ever to cheat anyone out of their money, especially my own daughter. Now, here's the question. Why was she so untrusting of me to pay my own daughter her wages? Because she is untrustworthy. And I know this from experience when we were together and since then. She's a liar. She's a thief. Yeah, she's dishonest. And because she's all these things, and this is not just me being bitter at my ex either. This is objective fact. We got all the fucking evidence we ever needed if we needed it. But because she behaves in that shabby way towards people, she expects others to as well. So if you get clients or prospective clients who are very untrusting about giving you their money, especially if you've got guarantees and things, and especially if they're using a credit card when they've got the chargeback capability as well, you're probably attracting the wrong people.
Very good point. Can't argue with that.
Now, here's the thing. We laughed about it the other day. We said about me, I'm too trusting, which is kind
Far
of
too
true.
trusting.
Well, it's kind of true because for the listeners who think, well, why is John so trusting? Being autistic, I can't read people very well. I'm a really poor judge of character. Now, most people reckon they're great judges of character. And not many people admit to being poor judges of character. I suspect more people are than actually say they are, but I definitely am. So I've got two choices. I can either go through life being untrusting, or I can go through life giving people the benefit of the doubt, trust but verify, basically. Well, I choose to do that because it's much easier and a more pleasant way to live. So please, listeners, don't think I'm gullible for a moment. I'm easy to lie to. Of course I am, because I have no way of telling if you're lying to me. But I am very difficult to deceive because I've got a memory like a fucking elephant. And I remember everything you tell me. So if you're lying, you will trip up. You will make a mistake. And I will notice. And then I will ask you about it. And I won't stop because there'll be no embarrassment. There'll be no awkwardness from me. There'll be none of this, no elephant in the room. I will strip that elephant naked and fuck it hard until it tells me what I want to know. So, I am very hard to deceive. And also, once I do figure out you've deceived me, you're done. You're a persona non grata because you've abused what is a vulnerability because I'm easy to lie to. So, yeah, I am trusting, but equally, I trust but verify. So it's not like I would leave a stranger in charge of my money or anything. I'm not stupid. I'm autistic. And here's a good example of the difference between the two. I was going to drop 12K on a program recently to learn a specific thing. And I was ready to go until they sent me the contract. And I read the contract and it was quite draconian. It was all in favor of the other party. And the three things which really knocked nails in the coffin. One was I wasn't able to share what I was learning with my team, which is Connor and Holly. The second thing was there were no refunds under any circumstances whatsoever. And we can get rid of you and curtail the program at any time for any reason, all right, with no refund. And the third thing was a non-compete clause. You won't set up a competing service. Well, the thing is, this particular thing that I was going to learn in more detail from someone who is a world expert is something I've actually been teaching and doing probably in a less focused way for at least 12 years. So I'm not going to, there's no way. But the thing that the real fly in the ointment was I mentioned this to the guy. I says, okay, I know I said I'm going to go ahead, but I've looked at the contract and I've changed my mind because this is just too draconian. And he came back and said, oh, I know that, but we'd never enforce it. So I says, well, then why have you got it? He was basically just trust us. like I said, I'm autistic, not stupid. I don't allow myself to be fucked like that. So that didn't happen. You know, if you've got this draconian contract and you're never going to enforce it, why have it? Why bother? You know? And then, of course, I started thinking about other things. And basically, the premise of this product is you'll attract the best people. And then I says to him, well, hang on a minute. If your product, your system attracts the best people, why do you even need a contract like this? Because are you getting douchebags? Because if you're getting douchebags, how and why? Does your system not work? Do you not use it? Or are you lying to me? This is what I mean about, you will not get away with lying to me.
Well, there's an inconsistency there. There's an inconsistency.
And I spot it. Asperger's brain goes, bing, big red flags. And Pitbull John fucking goes for it.
We're so confident in our processes to make sure we get good people. We don't do contracts.
Not like that.
We do agreements. No. Well, we set reasonable expectations. We tell them up front exactly how they can get their money back if they're entitled to it. Absolutely. And guess what? No one's ever asked us, oh, can I have that in writing? Because they trust us and we trust them.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, because that reputation, that respect is so valuable, it's a bit like virginity. It would only take one prick and it'd be poof like a balloon, you know? So we are...
easy to earn.
Easier to lose, yeah. So, that would never happen. It's just, apart from anything else, why the fuck would you want to cheat someone? I mean, it's just fucking...
It's wrong.
Well, it's wrong. It's just, why would you do it? It's just a waste of fucking energy because you've got to keep watching. If you do it once, you might get away with it. But if you keep doing it, if you make a habit of it, you've got to keep watching your back, physically, literally, metaphorically as well. You always got people gunning for you. Why would you want that? Why?
How could you sleep at night? Honestly, like, surely you get to a point where you just see a pile of people that you've just ripped off.
Something else I've observed as well is if somebody questions my integrity, I don't care. I just let it go. Whereas people who don't have any integrity get really defensive about it. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, a dishonest person gets very angry when you question what they're saying, whereas an honest person genuinely doesn't, because what can I say? I can't make you believe me, and sometimes you can't even prove that you're telling the truth. So what?
It's a bit like the biggest homophobes are often gay themselves.
Oh God, yeah. You mean preachers and fucking priests who fucking saying what a sin homosexuality is. The next thing you know, they're in the newspapers having been caught blowing rent boys in public lavatories. They mean those guys? Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, exactly those guys. And it's like, it makes sense now why you were so against it.
Here's a case in point. On LinkedIn, the people who use hashtags like be kind and authentic and all those things and come across as being right on, the more strident they are about it, the less it's true. The most unkind people I've seen on LinkedIn are the ones using the be kind hashtag.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. They're vicious and spiteful, left-wing, right-on social justice warriors. They're the worst kind of people in the world. They're the people we need fucking death camps for, I'm telling you.
Most freelancers come across as very social justice warrior and left-wing, so it's no wonder we're not very liked.
Which is baffling, because how can you be left-wing and a business owner? You're a capitalist, by definition. So, yeah, the ethics of charging up front, well, why shouldn't you charge up front? It's common in most industries. It's more common than paying after the fact. And why, I mean, also, how are you worried about ripping people off? I mean, that's on you. Are you the kind of person to take someone's money and not deliver? Either intentionally or because you're no good at your job? Is that what you're worried about? But in which case, you shouldn't be fucking charging for it because you're shit.
I was going to say, we need to do an episode on imposter syndrome. It's fucking massive.
Yeah, it is for some people. Probably the other way around.
I've never experienced it in a professional circumstance. Like, I've never had any issues with taking money and being like, oh, do I deserve this? And I was like, yeah, I do fucking deserve this. I remember we had Vicky speak at one of our online boot camps, and she spoke about imposter syndrome. I'm pretty sure it's one of our most watched videos on our membership site.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have imposter syndrome. I do have this feeling sometimes of, surely they must know this already. You know, not so. I mean, I think my understanding of imposter syndrome is I'm not qualified to teach this type stuff.
It's not even the qualification. It's because they can have the qualification.
No. When I say qualified, I mean what I mean is that
they don't feel like they are good enough.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
It's twofold. They don't feel like they don't deserve it, or they feel like they can't do it.
Yeah. Now, I don't ever have that feeling, but so I sometimes have the feeling of, surely they must know this already. How can they not know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that's the other end of the scale, John. That's like...
Probably.
No, it is. Because you're such an expert when you talk about these things so effortlessly, so naturally, and you're seeing their minds being blown, and they're seeing the dollar signs and how they're going to start making more money, and you're sat there thinking, I can't believe I'm being paid thousands of pounds to essentially tell someone to drink water. That I understand why you could think that is maybe related to imposter syndrome, but no, it's the same spectrum, just the complete other side.
I'll take your word for it.
That is like ascendancy, John.
That sums my attitude up. I mean, I'll be sitting there and I'll be talking about stuff, and sometimes, bearing in mind I'm not really good at reading people's faces or body language. Sometimes even I can tell they're blown away. And I'm thinking, I've just told you something I've probably said 100 times this week already. And sometimes said it for free on a podcast, and I've just said it to you in a consulting call or a mentoring call, and you were blown away. Or I've put it in a WhatsApp, you know. And I'm thinking, how can you not know this? How can you get up in the morning and brush your teeth on your own without an adult supervising you and not know this?
We've had this conversation a million times, especially when we come off like the calls with clients, the group calls, and it's so effortless. They turn up, you know, they're missing half their hair because they've been pulling it out all week, and they ask a question, and we sort of look at each other and go, yeah, it's simple. Do you want to talk about this, John? And sometimes you go, oh no, you do it, Connor. It's an easy one, and I go, you fucking wanker. What do you mean? I can have it because it's an easy one, and you go, ha ha, laugh like that, and I spiel it off, and they go, oh, wow, yeah. And then John goes, and to add to that, there's also this, that, and the other. And they go, oh, my fucking God.
Head blown.
Yeah, they turn up next week. And we're like, oh, did you do that? And they're like, yeah, it's changed my life. I've made an extra 10 grand this week.
Yeah, I mean, that is not an exaggeration, listeners. Honestly. We change lives just by coming out with random shit sometimes. Anyway, I got to go because I've got a workout. I've got a call at 12. I ain't got long to do it then.
You got a call at 12. Yes, you do. And you got a workout. Yeah,
I got to work out. Some of us have to pump iron, Connor.
I'm pumping iron today, you fucking cunt. I do it 4 times a week.
You fucking lift those little vinyl... Fuck off, you don't. You wave those little pink vinyl dumbbells around. Yeah, if you want to get the book, more of what we're talking about now, okay, in a lot more detail, step by step, paint by numbers, fix your fucking life and business, go to well-fed-freelancer.com. It's £5. You get 9 bonuses. It will change your life in 30 days, guaranteed. Or you get your money back twice over, so £10 back, plus a free pizza. And the guarantee, by the way, is not 30 days, it's a lifetime guarantee. So 10 years' time, we'll give you 10 quid. Fair warning, we're doubling the price of the books imminently. Not tomorrow, not next week, but certainly in the next month or so, to £10. Even that's fuck all, but hey. All right?
And why are we doing that, John?
Because we can.
That is funny you said that, because I did a LinkedIn post this morning saying the price is going up to £10 soon, not because we want to get rich, not because it's going to increase our ROI, but just because we can, because I couldn't think of an actual reason.
That is a reason. That's fundamental to my life, because I can. I saw someone post the other day complaining about people using their freedom of speech to say to disparage the monarchy. Some people enjoy exercising their rights too much. What a stupid thing to say. You don't need a reason to exercise your rights. If you do, it's starting to become a privilege, and a right is a right.
That's mental.
Talk about that next time. Ask me next time why I wouldn't give a random DNA sample to catch a murderer. That's a good one, that is. It's true.
Okay. Anyway, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, see you later. Bye, everyone. Love you. He lied.